Donald Trump continues to make waves with a new Birthright Citizenship executive order targeting the new phenomenon, well, not really new, but more well-known phenomenon of birth tourism, where you have foreign nationals come into the country while pregnant to have children on United States soil to take advantage of the birthright citizenship. Now, the Supreme Court ruled this past session that the birthright, you cannot overturn birthright citizenship. It was still something that was like, if you are born on U.S. soil, you are in fact a citizen. So Trump is trying to do a new order, a new way, new wording, new system to try to cut down on the amount of people coming into the United States to give birth, to take advantage again of having a United States citizenship. I think this is going to be incredibly interesting. This is going to be a huge story heading into midterms, heading into the following year, because one, this will in fact be something that is sued. This will make its way back up to the Supreme Court. I don't know which court or jurisdiction it's going to fall under. It will probably fall under a judge that was appointed by a Democratic president, just because that is where most of these cases have been falling. I think it will definitely make its way up to the Supreme Court again. And so we could potentially see another showdown on the birthright citizenship. Well, the last one ended in two different kinds of votes. The first one was a 5-4 vote, where there were 5 voting for birthright citizenship and 4 against. And the against, this was based purely on the grounds of you cannot come into the United States to internationals and two tourists cannot come into the United States, have a child, and that would be counted as a citizen. There was a lot of citing going on, including the works of a senator when the amendment passed, saying this is, of course, we are talking about the freed slaves. They are citizens. We are not talking about people that are coming into the country just to have children, basically, is what they said. And so the second issue with this, so that was the 5-4 vote. That one barely got through. The 6-3, which is the one that people mostly cite, which is a little bit deceptive, is, of course, one where it's based on a statute that Congress had passed earlier. I forget exactly which one it was, but there was a statute that, and so what Trump did would have violated that statute. That one passed through on a 6-3. Justice Brett Kavanaugh was on the 5-4, so he was on the 4 side of that, and then he switched over to the 6-3. So that's the backstory on this fight that has been going on in the White House over the past couple of days. And so now with the new birthright citizenship order, he's of course trying to cut down on people coming into the country, having kids, taking advantage of the... So what does this mean? Again, it's going to be making its way through the courts, but this is going to come into play in November. I think you're going to see a couple of senators, a couple of people running for the House of Representatives to be running on, I'm going to vote for this. I'm going to be voting for this, or I'm going to be voting against this. The birthright citizenship issue, I think, is going to become really, it's not big right now, but come October, I think you're going to definitely see a whole lot more campaigns start playing into this. I think, let's take a look at the Michigan Senate race in particular. Abdul Al-Said versus Mike Rogers, I believe. Abdul Al-Said, I do not believe, will be in favor of Trump's executive order, so he's going to be running on a platform saying this is we're not going to stand for this, we're going to figure out some way to overturn this, we're never going to codify this into a law. Whereas Mike Rogers, and so that's actually going to get some voters. That'll get some of the more probably immigrant voters, maybe some voters who have family on the outside, potentially more of a first generation American voter and not some of the more entrenched ones. Mike Rogers, on the other hand, is going to be probably going to be running on a campaign of, I do support this, I do want to shut down this birthright citizenship loophole that people potentially could be taking advantage of. And you're going to see that playing with a lot of more American voters with a family that extends farther back, such as, like 5th, 6th generation United States citizens. And so that, I think it's going to become really big, because I think it will definitely split the votes in a couple of places. I think you're going to see a lot of independents fluctuating on this, because with the recent while the population of many countries is going down due to immigration, America's population is still fluctuating just a bit. And so I definitely think you're going to see some people, some independents, switching their votes back and forth, being like, which one sounds better? Which one is potentially going to give me a better chance? And I think in some places, especially industrial areas, you're going to have a lot of people flipping over to a Republican side, because when you have more people coming in like that, it's going to take away jobs. Now, there are a lot of jobs open, But because of the amount of labor that is coming in, the amount of labor that's willing to work for cheaper than, say, an American whose family has been in the country for a while, it messes with wages, it resets the wage market, and so this is something that will definitely be coming in play in that November. What is this going to mean heading forward? If the Democrats win the Senate, I think this is going to be definitely an issue they take up, find a way around it. If the Republicans win the Senate, I think you could potentially, depending on how many people they get, I think you can potentially see them, one, taking away the filibuster, and then two, passing the State of America Act. You're probably going to see them passing some sort of law that will address this issue of birth tourism and birthright citizenship. And so it's definitely going to be something to monitor heading forward. And if you want to stay up to date on news stories like this, how they're going to be playing into midterms, how they're going to be playing into the future, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I really want to hit 100 subscribers. It would mean a lot to me. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Tell me your thoughts down in the comment section below, and peace.